Hello everyone, my name is Mitsiani Dauphin and welcome to my presentation of the Production Possibilities Frontier. I have chosen cookies and cupcakes for my two goods to produce. To tell you the truth, I truly enjoyed making this model of PPF because it involves cookies and cupcakes. Anyway, this slide is about the definition of Production Possibilities Frontier, as you probably already know. It is a model to show the different combination of two goods where there are enough resources and technology to produce the two goods. We will see how these two goods are produced in such a way that either an additional resources or an advance of technology could have an effect to the increase of the production or efficiency of producing these two goods. You will also see how opportunity costs, trade-offs, scarcity, economic growth, which by the way are the main ideas for this model that are described on these graphs. And this table that I have created for you so you can see the first production in an hour. The first two columns are in minutes, hours in producing, which is divided in 15 minutes incremental on how many cookies and cupcakes are made. And the last two columns are the actual production of the two goods. So for letter A, cupcake 60 minutes will produce 8 cupcakes. B 45 minutes, 6 cupcakes. C 30 minutes, 4 cupcakes. D 15 minutes, 2 cupcakes. And E, of course, without any hours will not produce cupcakes. And to the cookies, letter A 0 minutes, 0 cookies. B 15 minutes, 3 cookies. C 30 minutes, 6 cookies. D 45 minutes, 9 cookies. And E 60 minutes or an hour will produce 12 cookies. So this table is just a neat way to show how many cupcakes and cookies are produced in an hour, so you all can see how it made. And this graph is a table that I have, for the table that I have created, and it shows a straight line, meaning the opportunity cost is constant. If we divide 12 cookies to 8 cupcakes, we will get 1.5. The opportunity for one cupcake is 1.5 cookie. I'll have to sacrifice 1.5 cookies whenever I make one cupcake, and that's the slope, 1.5. And remember what opportunity cost is. It is an item that must be given up to obtain that item. And there's always a trade-off, another principle mentioned in chapter 1. I have to ask myself, do I want more cookies or cupcakes? Where will I put all my resources, right? Like for example, the resources for my cookies, cookie dough, chocolate chip, the bowls, utensil, milk, etc. And then for the cupcakes, flour, yeast, milk, eggs, oil, icing. So then I must decide which one is I'm going to produce the most. Choices always involve sacrifices and trade-offs, as you can tell from this graph. The slope of the PPF shows this opportunity cost of one good compared to the other good. So points through A, E are possible and efficient. All resources are fully being used. Now this is the 8-hour production of cookies and cupcakes table where I only increase my time. I also have, so you can see how much cookies and cupcakes were produced in each 2 hours increments to reach the 8-hour labor production. First, the cupcakes. Again, for letter A, 8 hours meant 64 cupcakes. B, 6 hours, 48 cupcakes. C, 4 hours, 32 cupcakes. D, 2 hours, 16 cupcakes. And E, no cupcakes made, of course. And then back to cookies. A, 0 hours, 0 cookies. B, 2 hours, 24 cookies. C, 4 hours, 48 cookies. D, 6 hours, 72 cookies. And E, 8 hours will make 96 cookies. The tables again is made to show two products cannot be possibly produced at the same time, particularly at the 8-hour time, right? Now, this is a graph that it's showing that the opportunity cost is also constant at 1.5, similar to the 1-hour labor, but I just increased the time from 1 to 8 hours to make more cookies and cupcakes. Now, this graph is something different. The one that looked like a bowed shape, right? The other one was a straight line, but this one is bowed outward. It also describes opportunity cost. So you can tell from point E with blue ink on The frontier is steep. I'm making more cupcakes. And this point E, if I want to use more resources to make cupcakes, I will have my mother, my sister, my friend to bake cupcakes. So I will have more cupcakes and the opportunity cost of my cupcake is high. Yet if I produce more cookies, such as point F with yellow ink on, the frontier is flatter, producing less cupcakes and the opportunity cost for the cupcake is much lower. Since I have some reinforcement here, my mother, I have recruited her to bake more cookies. You can see from point F with yellow ink, it will only increase slightly. This made my graph having a bowed shape, which was I was producing more cookies because of my mother's help. So simply put, if I'm using most of my resources in one good, of course I'll be making more of these good. Now, the point D with green ink inside the bout shape, that just means I could produce both but not that efficient. It is possible some resources are not being used efficiently. Then the point C with red ink out there, out of the outside of the bow shape, meaning it's impossible to make two goods or not feasible at all. So remember, the only ones that possible are the points A and B. Now, trade-off could also change over time because of the advancement in technology. Now, let's say they have discovered Super Oven 3000, the fastest oven yet. And in any number of cupcakes that we produce, cookies could be produced more. And if I don't have that enough cookies, I can still produce cupcakes so the frontier stays the same at end point. This is what happens when there's an economic growth. But it's all about choices again, right? So I decided to use my super oven to bake more cookies who cannot get enough chocolate chip cookies anyways, right? So you can tell from the graph from point A to G showing an outward shift of the production possibilities frontier. It's a new graph. So in summary, this is a great model to show the concept of scarcity, efficiency, trade-offs, opportunity costs, and economic growth. And remember, this all depends on resources, technology, and choices. So hopefully you have enjoyed the model of production possibilities frontier and perhaps made you crave to eat cookies and cupcakes. Thank you.